So today we are going to start a new section, and it is very important and very relevant. How to be disciplined and how to remain accountable. These are the two things. And little bit, let me give a insight what we have discussed yesterday. So we are now creating the plan, making a game plan. So in game plan, there are 3 steps. The first principle is model followership. That means to be a leader, first we need to learn how to follow. If we are a good follower, then only we can be a leader and we can model that. And second principle says that monitor your heart and behavior. So how we want to treat others, how we want to be treated, we need to treat ourselves. Others also, we should be treating others also in the same manner. And our communication with God should be very clear, because monitoring your heart requires constantly checking your motives and feelings before God. Because when no one is watching, at least we need to remain aware that God is watching anyway. So even this line is also very, I think I have actually underlined, but I forgot to save, so the underlines went away. This line was stating, no one can do this for you. You have to make a decision to constantly check the emotions of your heart. And one who does this automatically can get rid of the overthinking tendency, because the checking part is very important. And often most of us actually forget to check. Unless and until we check, we cannot change, because checking only gives us the insight how to change, what to change. And the third principle says making a plan. So to lead yourself well, we need a plan. To lead ourselves well, we need a plan. You will not lead yourself well by accident. It must be intentional. I call it a lead me plan. Everyone needs to be able to answer this question. What are you doing to lead yourself well? What is your lead me plan? To lead you well, you need to focus on 3 simple aspects, and those 3 are: know where you currently are, have a vision for where you want to go, and third is develop the discipline and accountability to do what it takes to stay on track. What it takes to stay on track. So these are now the third part. Today we will be focusing on it. So the first step is know where we are currently. If we don't know where we are, how can we plan properly? Because it might be otherwise a half-hearted plan or a unprepared plan. So current position, the knowledge about our current state is very important. That is the first step. And the second step is have a vision for where you want to go. Because having the clarity where I want to go makes my path very clear, and the process which I will be following will lead me there. If I am not having the clarity, then I might create a goal which might take me just the opposite direction, contrary to where I want to go. So it is not the speed, but it is the direction which is more important than speed. Direction is more important than speed. And the third step is where you want to go. I just explained. Third step we will be discussing today: how to remain disciplined and remain accountable. So if anyone wants to take a lead and start reading, please carry on.
Yes, Vikashji, I may. Yes.
Sure, please.
Discipline and accountability. Am I audible properly?
Properly, yes.
Okay. If God told you that you could ask Him for anything you wanted And the answer would be yes. What would you ask for? That is a pretty thrilling thought because we have little kids. We play this question out in our homes pretty often. The ability to fly is the most popular answer my kids give. But the ability to generate ice cream at any point and at any time is clearly the correct answer. In all seriousness, I would ask for more self discipline to accomplish the tasks I want to accomplish and to be the person I want to be. I say that because without the self discipline necessary to see a leafy plan through, it is an empty plan. The good news is that I believe everyone has a motivating factor that will help spur on the self discipline necessary to see the lead me plan through the end. What motivates you? What creates accountability to help you learn, grow, and stretch yourself in the ways you would not be otherwise? If you are driven by achievement, sign up for a class at a school or some type of certification program. Most of us are not in it for the certificate, but it is a form of self discipline. For me, the implicit accountability with the school is great motivation. I wish I would read and write on my own time, but I need some accountability. So, paying tuition motivates me to complete the tasks assigned on the syllabus. If you, yes, should I go ahead?
Yeah, please go ahead.
If
Complete
you
the
are
speech.
Gigi, if you are relational, maybe you need to create a group of your peers to learn and grow together. This is the idea behind book reading groups. There is built in accountability to read, form opinions, and show up to the group. You will end up doing work and thinking about what you are reading in the ways you would not have normally done. Even better, offer to lead the group. Taking on the responsibility to lead will force you to think through things you normally would not. You will need to take initiative and ask different questions. If you are wired for order and routine, determine a plan and tell someone about it. Or hire a coach who will help you formulate a plan. This works well in the realm of physical fitness and the growing trend of CrossFit groups and fitness boot camps highlight this. People pay good money for someone to choose a fitness plan for them, set a time for them to show up, and provide the community of people that will push them along. And we don't just need this physically, we need this in all areas of our lives.
Very true. It is a
Yes,
community which actually drives and easily get easily driven. Community role is very important. Like we are now reading together, and it's a reading club. We have a
yes, very
community of
true.
people.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
and if we are meeting and reading together, then we are reading uh, very particularly on almost on every day whenever we have planned. But otherwise, on our own, we might read more, we might read less, but consistency might be a challenge. So going forward, if you just lack motivation, pick a goal, set a deadline, and create an artificial sequence to motivate you. So many times, actually, many people lack motivation. That is very true. So in that case, what we need to do is pick a goal. We already have the plan in the second step, and that has already given the clarity to come up with a goal. What we need to do and do next is set a deadline also and create an artificial sequence to motivate you. Artificial consequence, sorry, not sequence. Artificial consequence should be taking us or should be a positive consequence that the goal is already achieved. When anyone sees that the goal is already achieved, they automatically gets motivated to do more than what they can do or they are doing. This is very true and proven fact. So author is saying to create the artificial consequence and do visualize so that the motivation automatically comes. Accountability, how it comes, we have seen the community. And now coming to the discipline and the motivation is saying create the goal, deadline, and the outcome, visualization of the outcome. I am convinced this is why people run marathons. Think about it. You are paying money to show up early on a Saturday morning to inflict pain on your body. Why? I ask people that for that all the time. The answer never makes sense to me because it is fun, not for me. Because it's fun, not for me. Sounds like hell. Literally, literally. All that being said, a deadline and an artificial consequence are quite motivating and might just be what you need to kickstart your self leadership. I know I need to grow in how I handle conflict. More specifically, I need to grow in my ability to deal with tense, high stakes conversations. Part of my Lead Me plan is to read two books, Crucial Conversations and Difficult Conversations. These are very important books, in fact. Even I have also these books are in my wish list to read.
Okay,
And
great.
yeah, these are very good. I have the audible version of this one of these books, I think. I think Crucial Conversation. When the stakes are high. If I'm not wrong, the full name of the book is Difficult Conversation or Crucial Conversation when the stakes are high. And the author is saying, and then give a leadership talk on this topic to few friends at work. When we give this learning to others also, that is the best way to learn to the deepest of it. Because that time actually we are not learning or not reading just for the sake of reading, we are reading to teach others or to make others also empowered with that learning. Without, and that is very, very important. Actually, this works very nicely. When we take up that responsibility, it works. It works wonderfully well. So, author is saying, without this kind of self-imposed discipline and accountability, I just would not do it. And the same thing is true for me. Without this self-imposed discipline, it's really difficult to do it, or maybe at it would have been kind of delayed unnecessarily to infinite time. The date of the talk is on the calendar. I know people will show up, and the accountability even makes me nervous as I type this. But that is the point. A leave me plan must also build in means of pressure and system of accountability to help execute it. So even though it is not making the author nervous or anyone who is in that situation makes that person nervous who is going to present that particular session, but that pressure itself will makes us move ahead. So this is a good pressure actually. If someone says that it is stress, that is also a good stress wherein actually we perform better. At the beginning of this year, I created a simple chart for my current Lead Me plan. It is not complicated, and you are welcome to use this one or create your own. Okay. The point is to have a plan. If someone were to ask you what your future plan is, what you are doing to lead yourself should be top of your mind. If you do not have an answer when someone asks you, you do not really have a plan. So this is the lead me plan and of the author. So he has created 3 dimensions to it. One is health, self-health, second is social health, and third is spiritual health. Relationship with my body, a relationship with the society, and relationship with God is spiritual health. And how he describes is, where am I currently? Where am I? So his position was, as he checks, he found that complaints of being distracted in one-on-one meetings, and this is coming in health because it is a mental health issue, or physical health, or even if it is deteriorated, then also the focus or the distraction, focus is difficult to attain and distraction is easy to face. Then what is the objective for this current issue? He has created the plan as be more present by keeping track of conversation in a journal. So if this is a very good way actually the author has suggested. Suppose if someone is getting distracted, then the best way is to have a pen and paper and write it down. Write it down as we are reading something, or at least at the minimum, try to underline it. If it is physical copy and underline, that is even more beneficial. But the thing is that we need to do it. When we do it, our senses are more engaged, and it is the senses by which actually mind get distracted. If the senses, all of our senses are engaged in one particular activity, and our mind is also creating this kind of sankalpa or thoughts, and intelligence is seeing that kind of image or creating that kind of image for the subconscious mind, then automatically this focus happens. There is no place of any
Distractions.
distractions. Yeah. Then the third point is execution and accountability. How he wants to do it is 360-degree survey of co-workers and friends at the end of the year. End of the year, we have a review mechanism in every company. And most of the company gives the opportunity to ask for feedbacks from not only our seniors but also our juniors and colleagues, co-workers. So that is called 360-degree survey or 360-degree feedback. So he has kept this as execution and accountability section. In social health, he is saying too many random meetings are happening, which have maybe not having any particular outcome. Random meetings, maybe gossips. So what is the objective? 100 meals and coffee with and encouragement. Sorry, not it is one. One is an encouragement and second is a learning. So if there is these 2 aspects present, then only I think the author is deciding to conduct or be a part of the meeting. If there is people who are encouraging to do something good,
And to have social interactions also.
Social interactions in a positive manner, not gossips, not rumors and all. And then if there is a learning quotient in that meeting, social meeting, because a person who is having very open-minded, even in social gathering, even from the movies that we see together, or even in a outing, family outing, wherever actually goes, he or she can learn very seamlessly. But the mindset has to be like that no matter what, I do, no matter where I go, but I will have the learning mindset. So if that is there, then only it happens. So this is the second point. And third is keep list on spreadsheet and keep visible. This is the way by which actually author is planning to keep the accountability on execution and accountability. That means he will have to mention each and every after each and every interactions or meetings with his friends or social gatherings. If he mentions, then only he knows that when 100 is met for that particular year, with these objectives are attained, and he can say no to the rest of the things. Otherwise, again, too many random people bother him. Aimless meetings. Keep visible. This is one part actually very important, which many times many miss it. We plan it and we dissect and we do everything, and after that we keep that particular sheet, or if we have done it in a journal, we close it and keep it in a corner that we hardly see that. If we don't see that, then we don't act. Out of sight is out of mind.
Yes,
So
very true. This generally happens with me.
yeah, with me also. So I have made sure for me, I have made rules for myself and for my inner circle accountability group members that there are very predefined set of rules we have, how to plan, how to prioritize, and how to make the planner in such a manner that it remains visible. That is one of the things actually I have made it very clear to all of the participants, including myself, that it should be very clearly visible. And the time I achieve one task, I we have a dedicated group where we keep updating our attainments, achievements, and that's how actually we celebrate each and every small wins of everyone. So that motivates us to do even more. And when we celebrate, and so also when we show our accountability, we remain accountable to the group. The next day also we feel like doing it. If we don't show up at all, then there is also a good chance that we might miss it very easily. Then the last dimension what he says is about spiritual dimension. Me, the spiritual health is relationship with my own self and my higher self, that is God. So the problem that he is facing is want to be more consistent in reading the Bible. So he is not consistently reading the Bible. Bible being their holy scripture, he is a Christian, so it is very much valid for him. For us, actually, we can choose any other scripture, whichever we believe as per our religion, or we believe whichever is very relevant and very much apt for us. And what is the objective that he wants to achieve here is leverage a Bible reading plan for consistency. Just like we have a reading club. We have a reading club here and we are together reading. So it is very easy. Similarly, he is also planning and leveraging a Bible reading plan or group for consistency, for achieving the consistency. And how he maintains the accountability, he is planning to check in with Wednesday morning rise. Check in with Wednesday morning rise. Maybe there is a group again. Community is key here. In that community, check in with Wednesday morning rise. So there might be a community that he has already created that is meeting every Wednesday, and those in that group or with the people there, they check, the author is checking in. That means he is sharing his completion percentage or consistency results and all those things, so that he can remain accountable to the larger audience. And nobody wants to look like a failure. That's how they somehow make sure that they do it. That's how actually the community of like-minded people takes us to a different level altogether with a very least amount of effort. And the last part for today is this will not happen on its own. You may not be in charge, but you are in charge of you. Who is not in charge of others, at least he is in charge of himself. If you do not formulate a plan, a lead me plan, no one will make it for you. The responsibility is yours. Even if company is giving some kind of lead me plan, it is majorly created or formulated in such a way that company growth is the outcome. But when it is a lead me plan, it is my responsibility to create it and to keep it in some such a place that I see it on a regular basis, and I create the sub task and put a deadline to each sub task and allocate dedicate time each day to work on that. That is also being taken care in our leadership circle, wherein actually we make sure that at least 5 to 15 minutes we spend each day on the goal, personal goal that we have, and we update that in a tracker and the graph. I made a system wherein actually a dashboard is getting generated, where it shows that how many days actually I remain consistent and how many days actually we missed to take action in case we missed it. And based on the action that we take, several actions are being mentioned in the tracker, and for each and every action we have a separate number of coins based on the intensity of that action and the time taken to achieve it. So when we do with that mentality, it becomes really easy to achieve what is our goal. From here, actually, we'll start tomorrow. That is time to leave and drop the expectation. Also, will complete tomorrow because it's already a little late today. So we are almost completion at chapter. Binalji, you want to read last few pages?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's stretch a bit and complete today's chapter. Full chapter.
Time to leave. Time to leave. I mentioned earlier that there might be times when you need to consider leaving a job because of an unhealthy relationship with your boss. This is admittedly a complicated challenge and it won't be able to cover every situation. But the truth is, if you find yourself in the challenging position of working for someone you feel cannot lead you, you might need to leave. But before you decide to leave, I'd suggest working for few things just to make sure you're leaving for the right reasons. It's similar to here's what we need to do before you leave your house for vacation list. My wife and I have. Do we turn off the AC? Do we turn the AC off, flush the toilets, take the trash out, and lock the doors? The list is intended to help you think through the things you need to do before leaving a messy situation. Drop the expectations. Hopefully, you push the past temptation to throw all the expectation of leadership on your boss. If you feel frustrated because someone hasn't led you well, often just dropping the expectation can really change things. Once One of the most freeing steps for you and your boss would be for you to relieve your boss of the obligation of leading you well. I've worked for bosses I've loved, and I'd worked for bosses there they were less than lovable. Expectation always affect relationship. They just do. Obviously, unmet expectation have a way of ruining relationship because trust is broken. If you have a boss who is not meeting your expectations, I think it's fair to assess your expectation of that person. Have you attached unreasonable expectation of the relation to the relationship? Are you asking for something that just isn't going to happen? Are you expecting to be led by someone who's incapable of providing that kind of relationship, that kind of leadership? Of course, it's a fair to have expectation of a boss. You should expect to be treated with dignity and respect. You should expect to be compensated fairly for your work. However, choosing to drop the expectation that might be unreasonable might just be might just be what relationship needs. Choosing to believe that your boss owes you nothing might just change everything. Go ahead and try to say out loud, my boss owes me nothing. I can't promise that it'll feel good, but I do believe it's worth a shot. Choosing to believe your boss owes you nothing, or at least a very little, is a powerful step forward for the relationship.
Very true. Okay. So you want to continue or? Okay.
So this should be read tomorrow, or how is it?
Yeah, okay. We read this tomorrow and we'll complete it, and we'll also see how much we can cover from chapter 5 tomorrow.
Okay, so you should do. Yeah, so we should read it today. Go all in.
Um,
Tomorrow
sorry?
also it's fine for discussion. Lead me
Yeah,
plan.
yes. Tomorrow we'll complete, no problem.
Okay.
Okay, then if anyone wants to share any last lines or any learnings from today, then please feel free to share whichever
I joined
learning.
a few minutes back, so it would be great if we can share, if any one of you can share this the gist of it.
Yeah, this will be said tomorrow before we start. So every day when we start, I try to summarize it. But today, as it's already late, so I would expect you to share at least few lines, 1 or 2 lines of your main takeaway from today's learning or today's reading, not the full gist.
Yes, Vikashi, today's lesson actually resonates with me a lot. Uh, 20 years back, I was a good reader. I used to read lot of books, but in the meantime, I got stuck in my daily home chores. But because of groups like I joined in your group, and a few other reading groups are also there where I have joined. So now again, because of only the accountability to reading here and in these groups, I have been able to back to my reading routine.
Very nice. So the
Yes, thank
accountability. Yeah, thank you. Even we also enjoy your presence, and mostly you are consistent. And I understand how crucial is or how important is the group accountability, uh, helpful to remain.
Yes, very true, Bikashi. Bikashi, you are not audible.
So I think I got dropped in between.
Yeah, now audible. Yes.
Yes. So what I was saying is definitely accountability in a community of like-minded people is the key, which is so true. And you have given your own examples also how it have helped you to come back to your own hobby or passion? Even though it is someone's hobby, but still, if it is getting done with a like-minded people, a community of like-minded people, then it becomes very easy. And coming to the other part, the discipline. So here author is saying that if we want to remain disciplined, then we need to have 3 steps he has given. One is picking a goal, get the clarity, get a goal, set a deadline, and create an artificial consequence to motivate you. And the hidden line or the hidden meaning here is create an outcome as if it is already done and visualize that. And that will create the necessary motivation to remain disciplined and remain accountable to the group and be in the action mode. And we have seen also the lead me plan. Kind of I have summarized. Okay, great. So, Vinalji, you want to share anything?
No, sir. No, Bikaji.
Okay. Okay, then we are good to end for today. And let's meet tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, Vikas ji. Thank you. Thank you, Vinal ji.
Thank you, Sumanji. Thank you all. Bye.